I have some herbs that I picked from my herb garden. A little sage, some rosemary. I have a little bit of garlic, the equivalent of 4 cloves, peeled. Celery, onion, and carrot. Let's get to work. The first thing we're going to do is clean the rosemary. And if you've never cleaned rosemary before, it's pretty easy. The leaves will go on one way. Just take your fingers, prick them together, and pull the other way. It's pretty simple. It's not as intimidating as it seems. So we're going to clean some of this up, and some of it we're actually going to use in the pan on top of the turkey. Now we're going to do our sage, and for sage, you have to pull them off like leaves. We'll add our rosemary in and finish chopping. Now if you have a food processor that's small enough to handle this job, I suggest you use it if you don't mind washing your dishes. I like it really fine because it's going to make the herb butter that we're going to use on the turkey. This, as you chop these herbs, the aroma comes out of them. It's very, very nice. So that's enough of that. And what I'm going to do with this right now is I'm going to just put this in, not all of it, probably about 3/4 of it into the butter. And then we'll chop our garlic. And I prefer to chop the garlic as opposed to mash it into a paste, because generally if you mash it into a paste, it could get a little bit strong. Once you paste the garlic out, to me, and I don't think I'm exaggerating, it gets twice, if not 3 times as strong. That's good enough. We're going to put that into the bowl. We're going freshly ground pepper. A little bit of salt. I use salt because the butter that I have on hand and I usually use is unsalted butter. And we're going to need a little bit of the salt to enhance that flavor. It's just the back side of a spoon, and you mix this around. This is going to make, I'm telling you, a nice moist turkey. And you're not going to have to worry about doing a whole lot to it. We're going to cut our celery up. Make sure you wash all your vegetables. That's really important. I'll stop about at this point, because when you wash celery, if you leave the stalk whole, you can't get down in here. And down in here is where all of the actual sand and everything would be that you couldn't get to. So if you're going to use this, you got to cut that and wash it separately. Put the celery over here. Sometimes I peel the onion and sometimes I don't. In this case, we're going to peel it. We may use it for sauces later. And we're just going to slice it down like across. And then, nice big cubes. And we're going to put that in the bowl too. So now all we have to do is get our bird ready, and we're ready. Alrighty, what we're going to do to prep the turkey is I just took it out the pack. So you go in this cavity area here, and usually there's a sac. And that's the heart, the liver, the gizzards, that type of thing. We're going to set that to the side. And you go in the stomach cavity, and there's a neck bone. And oftentimes there's either wire or plastic holder on the legs to keep the legs shapely. You have to pull that out. And what we need to do here is just rinse it off and pat it dry. Okay, so now we've cleaned and patted turkey dry. We're going to go up between the skin with our hands just like this. Just a little bit. Just break up the skin a little bit. Be patient. Try not to pierce the skin. Then if you could just get around the sides a little bit, maybe with your finger or something around by that leg and the thigh, that's good. You're going to take some of your butter and just go up in there like that. And don't worry if you don't go all the way down in the back and everywhere. Don't worry about that. This nice herbal butter is going to cook down anyways. And the rest of it you're just going to put on the bird. Just going to put it on the bird. Lucky bird, lucky bird. This is one lucky bird, I tell you. And we're going to take our roasting pan and fill it with most of these vegetables. Oh yeah. And we're going to take our turkey. And alright buddy, you're in big trouble now. You're in big trouble. Tuck the wings behind your back. Come on, wings behind your back. You're in trouble. And we're going to tuck these wings behind its back. Now you have to tie the legs together. I prefer a thin wire. Plenty of people use butcher's twine. And that's good too. But the wire works for me. And now we're going to set this right there in the pan. We're going to roast them for 2.5 hours at 325, and then after that we'll baste them 3 times. Once after 2.5 hours, and then 45 minutes after, and 45 minutes after that, and that will do it. We're going to use the rest of the vegetables right in this cavity. And you know those herbs that we had? We're going to put those in there too. Just the rest of those. Some more vegetables. It's going to be a very flavorful bird. Okay, we're going to pull our little sides there off now, because we're not going to need that anymore the rest of the way. And we're going to just take our baster and start basting our bird. And this is the first basting, and we're going to put it back in and let it go for a little bit more. Okay guys, our turkey is done. Now, this is an instant read thermometer. If you don't have one, you really should get one because it's good for everything in the cooking application. And you want to check the temperature of your turkey. So you want to stick it right there in the thigh part mainly, right between the breast and thigh, but for the most part in the thigh part. And you're looking for at least 160, 165 degrees. 160 is fine because it has to cook over time. 165 is the best temperature. We're going to put this foil over it. And I always have towels or something I keep around that I don't use anymore, but I use it for different baking applications and all. And in this case, this needs one of the towels right over the top of it. And we're going to let that rest for about 30-45 minutes. All right, let's take a look at it. Now, what we've done here is we've used the aluminum foil and the towel over it to keep the temperature right and keep the moisture in. Okay, what I usually do is I mix that up. And I put a little bit right there, right on the platter. I'll take anything that I have lying around, and usually I have something because, you know, it's the holidays. I always have something on hand. And this is not a extra fancy garnish or anything like that. It's just something that, you know, anyone can do. And I just take this and I put this up under there a little bit, just like that. And then I take the cranberries, a little handful, and, you know, maybe a couple handfuls, and just put them around, depending on the way I feel. And right now, I'm feeling like quarters. So this one I'll turn down. This one I turn up. And it makes a pretty decent presentation. And that's it. I mean, you really don't have to do nothing extra fancy. Put a little bit more cranberry for the red color. And that's it.